All right, there are rumors that DeMar DeRozan could get bought out. People said he wanted to stay in LA. I don't know if he would join the Lakers, which could be in a reserve role with that Luka Ostery. Maybe they can slot him at the three. But he expected to reach a buyout. Would he like to come to Detroit? At this point, I guess you just throw shooting out the window. You just need somebody that can get a bucket, a high character guy, very high character guy. And do you just throw caution to the wind? Do you be like, hey man, are you like, hey man, fuck it, let's get DeMar DeRozan. The Kings are expected to come to a buyout agreement with DeMar DeRozan in the coming days. His market would depend on if he will sign the veteran minimum. So, I mean, once again, this would be the Detroit way. You know what I'm saying? This would be the Detroit way. Digging in the bottom of the garbage for no disrespect to him, for answers, But last year, I mean, like I said, high character guy came up with under Master P, a wing. Ain't the worst shooter in the world, but it's somebody that can take pressure off K. Like I said, high character, ball handler. No Diddy. Can finish at the rim still, take care of himself. And I just can't stress high character. You know what I'm saying? Shot the ball at a 50% clip last year, can get to the rack, shot the ball at 32% from the 3-point line, way below average. That's about where Tobias is shooting it at, 86.7% from the free throw. He can hit a free throw. I mean, and fairly durable throughout his career. The last 5 seasons, he's been to 75 games or above, and had in when he was 34 years old 2 seasons ago, or now 3 seasons ago in Chicago, he played a career high 38, almost 38 minutes. So in general, most years, he's at about a 30% 3-point shooting. His highest year was 35% in Chicago. He shot 35% from three. Don't take a lot of them. Guy that can get to the rack. Facilitated a lot. Good facilitation. Around 4 assists for his career. 4.1 assists. 4.1 last year. At the end of the day, the only real issue you have here is just the shooting. Everything else is pretty good. He can handle it. Can get to the rack. Collins give you a little bit more shooting. Cade is a solid shooter, but the problem once again is why you had Duncan in the starting lineup is because Duncan can really shoot the ball at a high clip. You hurt yourself when you put another guy like you lack shooting right here at that position. But this may be one of those Hail Mary throws, and I'm at that position, and I'm gonna do another video about what's left, but it might be another Hail Mary throw. Might be a Hail Mary throw. I mean, I like DeMar DeRozan. I mean, if they put him in the lineup, it's definitely an upgrade defensively over Duncan Robinson is definitely an upgrade over defensive upgrade, scoring, putting the ball on the rack, putting the ball on the floor, getting to the rack. But we'll see. So, but yeah, I mean, I would like to see it. So I would love to see it, but the interesting thing about it is the shot. But I mean, we just gotta weigh the options. Even if they were to get him, just feel like it's a log jam on the roster. So I feel like another trade will be coming. They depth, let's just say they did Adam. Their depth is immaculate. Their depth is immaculate. And I'm gonna do a video talking about it. Their depth is immaculate. You know, so they will have a lot of depth on the team with him. Do I think he can adjust his offseason to be a better shooter? Yeah, but a lot of the rumors that you hear about him is that he probably want to stay in LA. Now, do he want to win or do he want to stay in LA? You want to go to the Clippers? You know what I'm saying? And they got to want to have you, but for the veteran minimum, I mean, the Pistons can separate themselves by giving him more than the veterans minimum. They can, but also he just got bought out. That's another thing about it. He just got bought out. So with him just getting bought out, maybe to separate yourself, you give him a little bit more than the veterans minimum. But obviously, the timeline is based on, can they get Kevin Durant? Can they get Trey Murphy? Who else is available? That's the $1 million question. When you go around the NBA, who can you have that ultimately can help you? That's on somebody's squad that they can be they could be looking to get rid of. Utah has a bunch of guards, but I'm not sure it's some veterans. It's veterans that can help you over there. I mean, you need somebody that can straight up come in and flat out help you. That's the number one issue. Like, where can you get help? And it's gonna be hard. People say you can go out to Portland and you get some help, and you look at the Portland's roster. You can go out there and get. They got a log jam on their roster. That's what you can hear. They got a real log jam out there in Portland. So whether it's do you go out there and you get Jrue Holiday, you go out there and look at Shaedon Sharpe, a guy that you could have had. Do you go out there, you try to pry something away from them? Scoot Henderson, who's kind of starting to figure it out. It's $1 million question. Most likely, you probably looking at Jrue Holiday or Shaedon Sharpe. Now, can you go there and can you make that happen? And with Shaedon Sharpe, a young guy that's finding his way in this league, do you feel like you can put him in Detroit and he can find his way? Or do you feel like his development is really predicated on, his comfortability, in Portland right now, where he's comfortable at? I mean, he ain't the greatest shooter, but he will improve. Do you look at a guy like Shaedon Sharpe and be like, hey man, we can do something. We can do something with young dog. He only gave you 50 games last year for whatever reason it was, but can we win with him? I mean, he trending in the right direction. And what would it take for you to get him? That's the $1 million question. It's probably gonna be something similar to Trey Murphy. Now, if you want to be in a position to win, you're probably going to be looking at Jrue Holiday. But once again, when you talk about Jrue Holiday again, the question remains this with Jrue Holiday. And it's not even about Jrue Holiday. The question remains is this: you would have to get Ibuka or Corey up to speed very, very fast. Jrue Holiday shot it at 38%. Jrue Holiday is how old right now? He's 35 years old. So maybe you got 2 good years out of Jrue Holiday left. You got a guy that can play off the ball. You got a guy that can play on the ball. You got a high character guy. I mean, this may be the guy that they should target, to be honest with you. Really, you like Shaedon Sharpe? The ticket is probably going to be high for Shaedon Sharpe. They're not going to just get rid of him to get rid of him. So if you're going to get Shaedon Sharpe, you're going to put a hell of a play together, and you're going to give up multiple draft picks. Them 3 draft picks you giving up for Trey Murphy, guess what, Ninja? You giving them up for him. Now, it's a great investment. You probably got to pay him pretty soon. But also you'll ask yourself, how much promise do you see in Ibuka Corey? And you can figure that out. I feel like you can figure that out between Ibuka Corey and Shaedon Sharpe. You can honestly move brother Asar to power forward, and you'll be okay. You still got to hit that corner 3. You can figure that out. You will be okay. You can get other bigger guys at the power forward position who can really help you out. you can rotate them in. But, you probably go out there, Shea Sharpe, Abuka, Corey, K, Cunningham, JD in the middle. I presume he'll be here and Asar at the 4. You probably get away with that. So ultimately, he got 1 year left at about $35 million because he got a player option next year at 37. So you probably got him for 2 more years, to be honest. He probably going to cash in that player option. This is probably the guy that you go get. This is probably the guy that you say, you know what? We going to go get him. We ain't got to give up a lot of draft capital. We put him next to K Cunningham. He's a champion. He's a high character guy. He can defend at a high clip. He's shooting the ball at a better clip. He got championship caliber. This is most likely the guy that the Detroit Pistons, should end up with at this point. This is the guy. This is the guy that they should end up with. Sorry, doggy's still sick. I think he's ready to eat. Sorry, y'all. I was supposed to be in Cleveland and not today, but I stayed with my sick dog. So hopefully we get him back on track come Monday. They're going to see him Monday again. Good boy. But I appreciate y'all, man. But I think this might be the move. But, DeMar DeRozan ain't a bad move neither, man. So I appreciate y'all. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit the link in the description and say find me everywhere from X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, wherever I'm at, I'm there. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. But in general, let me know what y'all think about this. One time for the one time, good fella. Well, Motor City Sports Talk. Peace. And check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist.